So we're going to start with a butterfly. So just bring the soles of your feet together and give me a nice tall lifted spine up to the sky. So that means to root down, plug down into the ground with the sit bones and let that rooting kind of grow your spine up to the sky. Now, if you have yoga blocks or if you're at the beach and you have sand and you want to push it up underneath of your knees in order to, or even blankets or yoga mats rolled up, will help you kind of bring the floor up to meet you. So if you need a little bit less of a stretch, you can always utilize your tools. But soles of the feet together and just give a little flutter. And it's important that you're stretching when you are warm. So I've already worked out today, not very long ago. So my body is still warm and ready to open. But you would not want to be doing these with cold muscles. So let's just go ahead and start leaning the body forward a little bit. Try to keep the length in the spine and just lean it on forward. Just to that point where you feel like you're starting to meet resistance, and hold it there and then touch back in with your breath. So take in a nice deep breath. Imagine that air kind of going into the places that your body is asking for attention, and then when you exhale, you can kind of move into that space that you've created with the inhale. So take a few breaths here. This is a great way to connect with your body as well, just checking in with it, tuning in. Add any kind of movement you like, side to side. I like to do a little half semicircle, just sweeping the body down, around, and through. Now let's bring it back to still. Take a nice inhale. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, move into it. Okay, we're going to come on up and stretch the right foot out. Bring the left foot into that little figure four. The left foot will come in towards the right inner thigh. Now flex the right toes strongly back towards the knee. Activating that foot, activating all of the front muscles, lift the kneecap so you're even activated in that front thigh as well. With this engagement on the front part of the leg, you're telling all the muscles on the back part to ease up, loosen up, stretch out. So if straight leg is definitely not happening for you, we're still going to do the exact same cueing with an activated front part of the leg. You're just going to have a bend in your knee, and that will bring your foot to you so everyone can touch their toes. Take nice deep breaths, kind of lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold it forward. So good. I even like to add a little bit of movement with the torso, depending on your body and your range of motion, your flexibility, kind of turning the front of the body towards the midline will open up through that whole left side. If you need to, you can always have a block underneath of that left knee. But you want to utilize your tools. If you find that you have tightness here and you're gripping and holding on in the hip, you want to use the tools because it'll allow your body security in knowing that it can rest, it can let go, and it doesn't have to activate here. And instead, we can move into a passive place, a stretching place where we're receiving, not necessarily activating, gripping, and holding energy. So it's really not about the ego when we come to the body. It's about what's best for our unique physical form. And that's really where the magic of a self-care program or a physical fitness program comes into play. So keep that in mind. We're going to switch it out to the other side. The right foot comes in towards that left inner thigh, and give it a strong flex back. Tuck your block under or your blanket if you need a little bit underneath that right side. We're really stretching through that right side low back as well. Flex that left toe strongly towards you. Lift up through the kneecap if you have a straight leg, or give me that nice bend. And we lengthen the spine up. It gives a hint of a twist over to the left, and then we kind of set that lengthened spine down. So good. Kind of adding some movement if it feels nice. Just kind of exploring through the body. All those places we never really tune into. Maybe find some stillness. Nice, deep, long breaths. So good. We're going to come on out of it. You can walk yourself up. We're going to bring the legs together. Flex both knees or feet strongly back and sit high up on the sit bones. So instead of feeling like the tailbone scoops under and rounds, you want to tilt through those sit bones and really plug them down into the ground. Straight legs or bent knee, it doesn't matter. We lengthen up to the sky with an inhale, and then exhale, fold forward over those legs. So you bring your feet to you so that everyone can touch their toes. I like to kind of bring some movement, but it really depends on the exploration of your own body. You'll know what's safe for your body and what's not. We're going to rock it on down to the back. So go ahead and roll it on down. Bring the knees up into a tabletop position and flex the feet back towards the knee. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. So we're in a figure 4 position with strong angles. The knee is at a strong angle and the ankles are flexed at a strong angle. So grab the left hamstring and start just guiding that left leg. The whole thing, guiding it in towards your body. With a strong flex of that foot, you're kind of engaging through the front of the leg. So you're asking your knee to stay in line. And you can give a gentle push out with that right hand on the right knee. And if this is just way too much for you, just go ahead and back out of it, or don't even go in it all the way. If the left foot on the floor is a better stretch for you, and you feel like you can really let that right leg drop down and you're not holding it up, then you'll find a better stretch that way. So go to that place that really works for you and your flexibility. You can rock side to side, really massaging through that low spine, coaxing the hips to open up. We're going to switch it out to the other side. Just kind of shake them out, get some blood moving through those knees, and that left ankle is going to cross over the right knee. And we're going to flex the toes back towards the knees, and then just start finding that edge for your body. That space where you know what your body's capable of. It's predictable. You've been there before. I know that I can touch my toes or I can pick up this glass. In that new space that I've never ventured out to before, the space where maybe I can't necessarily perform that, and it's not just a given, it's an exploration. So we brush up against that edge, kind of asking what we're capable of every time we come to the mat or come to the machine or come to a workout, or even like just rooting your feet down into the, floor when you're making dinner over the oven. Like at any point, we're always just kind of doing that self-exploration. And then just give yourself a little rock back and forth. And then let's shake out those legs. So good. Nice. So now bring the soles of the feet together and drop the knees out wide and just keep them bent. The tips of your toes will touch together, and hold your knees and just kind of guide them out and down. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist for the low back. You have a few options here. Bring the knees together. You can plant the feet down onto the ground and then widen them to about the size of like a yoga mat. And you can drop them over to the right, come through the center and over to the left, just for a mild spinal twist. You can alternate sides, or you can come with me and lengthen the left leg out, down, long on the ground, flex the toes back, and the right leg is going to come up into a tabletop position, flex the right leg as well, and then we're going to drop it over to the left side of the body. You want to kick that bottom hip out towards the back so that the hips come and stack right on top of each other, and then keep the right foot in line with the knee. So don't set it down on the ground, twisting the leg from the joints. Instead, keep it in line with the hip, in line with the knee, and flexed back and active. The right shoulder stays down on the ground. We look over to the right for the full body, full spinal twist. Nice deep breaths, sending that oxygen up all the way through the spine, wringing it out even deeper. Guide that right leg over the body. You can take it into the right hand and drop it out towards the right. Keep it bent and flexed. And if you need, you can always put a block there underneath of your knee. Let's switch it out to the other leg. So the right leg is going to go long down on the ground, and the left leg comes into that 90 degree. Flex that left toe, and then we drop it over to the right side of the body. And to avoid twisting through the very low spine, we're going to kick that bottom hip out so that it's nice and in line with the top hip. The left shoulder comes down onto the ground, and the crown of the head, we twist all the way from the crown of the head down through that spine. So good. It's really good to nurture our bodies like this. Gives it a safe space where it's not always being beat up. Instead, it's being celebrated, nurtured. We're going to bring that left leg back up through the center. Hug both knees in. Oh, we got to do that left side. Grab the left knee with the left hand and open that left leg over towards the left so that the inner thigh from the groin to the knee gets a nice stretch. You can do some circles with your feet. Keep it nice and flexed. And then remember, you can always put a blanket or a block right under this knee. Nice deep breathing, and the amount of time that you spend in these really depends on how good you feel in them. I'd shoot for at least 30 seconds. That's a really good activated stretch. It might be a little much if you don't stretch often. Let's bring both knees into the chest and just rock around on that low back, and then you guys are done. Slowly sit on up. You can roll over to the side or whatever you want, but yeah, thank you for stretching with me, and I hope that you feel all limber and ready to crush the next workout. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.